So what's up, guys? It's been a while here. I had a design post some time ago, and it was basically a feature that I brought to life per se, because it's not actually a live feature. It was something that I had to, cook together, and make it seem live. So I'm going to play the video now. If you haven't seen it.
I know what I was thinking, leaving my child behind. Now I suffer the curse, knowing now I am blind. With all this anger, guilt, and sadness coming to haunt me forever. I can't wait for the cliff at the end of the river. Is this revenge I am seeking?
Now, to explain what the video is, it stemmed from a problem I had. I wanted to use the virtual card. You see these virtual cards, there are a lot of fintechs providing that service. So the numbers of the card are usually on the phone, right? And you want to pay with, pay using um your desktop, your laptop, or whatever. Basically, not the same device where you could just copy. And one thing you might need to do if you use a Mac, if you're lucky to use a Mac, you can. And there's a cross-platform functionality where you copy on your phone and you can paste. But that also has to happen repeatedly. You need to do copy the number, copy the CVV, copy the expiry date, and maybe another, zip code and all of that. The thought came to me. I thought about it that okay, why isn't it, possible for us to have a system where people can just scan details on on the screen, and then the devices just fill it in for them. So as you can see here, details are being scanned. You authorize that transaction, and then the details are being filled. As you can see here, shown twice. Now that seems to be like a lot of things put into one. First of all, not just on the device itself, not just the algorithm doing this, you would also need an handshake between the two systems. Now that was the goal I set out to show here. So I needed to show these two sides. To do this properly, you can see it's not just a design work; it's also a presentation work. So it's going to involve much more than just putting Figma prototypes together. So I set out and designed a storyboard. Now this storyboard outlined all of the shots. As you can see the typing here, just a basic storyboard. This shot here with the screen, you can see it also on this part. You see the items typing, and then you see it here. Also, this hand typing. I had my girl with me. I told her to be the model for this. So you'd go. Let me scroll through this timeline, and you see the hand typing also. And this particular shot, you see it here. And this shot of the bags and everything, you would also see it. The bags being scrolled, across. There's a lot of details that goes into doing stuff like this, because you also have to pick a proper website that it's going to be obvious. Now, when you're trying to do something just for yourself, it's much more different from trying to show it in the camera. That's very obvious on the camera that are doing something, so that people don't have to think twice. And it should be obvious that somebody is trying to search for a bag website, and that's why this happened. Somebody typing all of that words in. I know it doesn't take that much time for someone to type in the amount of words being typed here, but if you're trying to do it the proper way, trying to present it, you would need to do some exaggeration for that to happen. So basically it's you're gonna overperform, so the details aren't lost on anyone. So you have this hands typing and you have this what's being typed here. And the back website I chose was Lowy, because they had this design that was, I had so much emphasis on the product itself. And that was one thing we needed. We needed to show that this action was happening, basically telling the story with that. So as you can see here, the timeline drove us through all of this, and then we got to this point where we paid. All of the shots you see here, they were already photoed in the storyboarding, and then the hand picking up the phone. Some shots were left out because in the course of editing, you had a lot of footage you have to cut and keep very very compacted. Now, so we have all of these details, and This is basically the storyline. From the storyboard, first of all, you're going to need the app. You're going to need it running like a real app. You could ask, why didn't you use AI for this? Why didn't AI do this? First of all, you cannot delegate something as versatile as this to AI to do. The idea of doing it and enjoying the process is also part of the reason why this is being put together this way. Basically, being able to set up this shot kind of motivates you to say, okay, I want to go ahead with the rest. But run into a problem, oh, this doesn't work that way, and it's not your doing, and you're not responsible for it, kind of just kills the whole idea. Basically, sitting in craft work gets you from point A to point B, and then when you see how much you've done in point B, you jump to point C, and so on and so forth. So I had to, sit down on this, right, and craft it the way I wanted because I saw the idea, all of the ideas in my head, and I had to put them down the way I wanted it to. So basically, this UI, even this UI, I saw it in my head. I saw the way I wanted it to be. As you can see from here, this was nearly the first things I designed because I saw it in my head and I knew what I wanted. Let's now go to the things we needed. We know we needed the mobile app design, so we need to design that. Then we know we needed a way for us to use our camera. Figma doesn't have that feature where you could just pick up your phone and use the camera. You can't do that. That's a capability that's possible in some other developer friendly applications. I wasn't ready to toe all of those lines. So we needed a way also to capture footage, right? And then we needed a way for the main UI of the website, the payment page, to be edited to fit into our story. Basically, we're telling a story that, look, when you scan with your phone, it gets filled up. I went to Lois' website, captured this page, brought it here, and then start filling in this detail one by one. I made a Figma prototype that basically used an after delay function where as soon as one detail is being filled in, the other one is queued in. And then as you can see here, the card number is filled in, the expiry date is filled in, next is the CVV, and the last one is going to be the name. Again, these are things that if you are to use the typical way you copy and you paste, you copy and you paste. But as far as I know, doesn't really exist for you to scan and the payment goes ahead. Now we know we need this, so I designed all of this. One thing that came along the way was thought about edge cases like for security, and then one thing I had to do was we had to also build in authorization. Basically, when you start outlining your storyboard, you start thinking about all of the different cases. So that's authorizing that transaction, and then the transaction being processed, and then this feedback system, the notification comes in that you've spent a particular amount of money purchasing something. Basically, as you can see, this is where I started from, and that's also something that maybe we would like to share with you. Maybe sometimes you might have something to do, and typically you would like to start from the beginning, but sometimes it might just be nice to start from the middle, take your way back, and then go forward, depending on how the inspiration strikes you. Basically, if the inspiration strikes you to do a particular screen first, you would have to do that screen first because that's how you motivate that mind, that spirit telling you, "Oh, do this first and do this first." So I did this one first and then came back to this. And then as I designed the cards, I got inspiration. Okay, I wanted a metal kind of cards. You can see details here. So basically we have this designed already. Now talking about the footage, if we go to the video, right, it's gonna seem like she's actually scanning the screen. She's not actually scanning the screen. What's happening is basically a pre-recorded video. All of these are videos which I've converted to GIF. Only my company account uses the paid Figma. A lot of people here might not be using the paid Figma version, and if you want to try it out too, what you basically are gonna do is convert your video to GIF and then bring it into Figma. It's gonna allow you to do that even with a locked account. So you can see my own company is much more, is a paid account. I can import video if I want, but free accounts like mine don't. You can't bring in video, so you have to work your way around that. So I have to do that too. So basically, I recorded the video, pre-recorded the video with my phone, just normally, and then I told my girl that she was going to follow the trail of the video. So if you see this part here of her hand moving and here, this is the pre-recorded video happening here, right? And her hand is just moving. There was nothing happening there, just the phone. And then this authorization comes up. Now, all of these have been prepared basically in a Figma prototype. If I show it up here, you see that all of these were connected typically. And then when you go to this space, I use an after delay function to make this happen. So on tap, an after delay feature comes up and then makes this animated. So I already told her what to do. she had some rehearsal of some sort of some type where she was going to tap this scan button. This footage you're seeing here was also pre-recorded. Basically, the idea is that if someone was going to pick up their phone, they won't be very stable at the beginning. So I have to think about that, prepare that particular screen. And then when you tap on this screen and then something happens, this can happen. So this was animated in Figma here. And just basically a position animation where the thing comes down. And then after that happened, you see the security thing. So I also told her she had to rehearse with this, and then you tap on this number, and then this is done. So basically, it was prototyped to where each number will come in after the scan was done, and everything had to be you know put together in such a way that made it work. If you see on this part here, different shots were taken. This was hand typing. This was for the parts where the number would go in. So I'm in DaVinci right now. This is the software I used to edit the video itself. So if I go to the timeline one, this is how the videos were cut. As you can see, the videos were cut in this manner. Um, if you see it here, right? The purpose of taking these shots separately was to give way for all of the cuts. But this is actually where the work is. This is where you actually do the work that you saw or that I prepared on the storyboard here, over here, right? All of these things you see here was going to be done in DaVinci, not in Figma. Again, works like this always excite me. So as you can see here, all of this had to be put together in that particular way. Being respected. I wasn't just a product designer in this particular project. I was also some type of director, calling the shots and telling what shot comes next. You don't necessarily have to shoot them chronologically. You can shoot this one first and then come to the beginning and shoot that particular shot. You have a storyboard. So all of these are the shots and you have to put together. This Lowy page here was also prototyped. And then if I play it, you can see it happening. One, two, three, right? Then I had like two shots of that. Like I said, if you are doing something for the camera, you have to make it obvious, right? You know it's happening, right? But for your audience, you need to show them. So we had two shots of this. So these two were the shots we used. So at the end of the day, I got to now come to DaVinci Resolve and edit all of them, put them together, and then use text. Sometimes you might just be designing the profile screen or whatever, and then the idea has start coming to you that okay, this is the kind of sound I want this to pick. Because I know that I wanted this to be fast paced, right? So I went ahead and picked that sound you listen to. So I'm gonna unmute it now and then show you um putting all of these things together. You get the user, like get the audience like interested in what's happening here. This is actually a real big band orchestra. I had this song in my library as part of my favorite songs. So I remember that and I said I'm gonna use it here. The tempo is fast enough to, feeling what we needed here. So if you hear.
Blind with all this anger, guilt, and sadness coming to haunt me forever. I can't wait for the cliff at the end of the river. Is this revenge I am seeing?
Another thing I would say is that so your ideas wouldn't necessarily crystallize. There are a lot of cuts that happen. Certain footages weren't used. Some sound effects were dropped and all of that. But it also happens as part of the process. So, I hope this was helpful enough for you guys. And if you want to work on something and it doesn't really conform with the the current way of working that you might have heard, please feel free to pick out your own ideas because you're responsible for the idea. I always tell people that at the end of the day, you need to reward that system that brings the idea for you. If you get an idea and it seems like you can't, it's not something you can build, you can animate it out, you can, storyboard it out, do something like this, and then maybe somebody else can pick it up somewhere else. So, I hope I've been able to put this together properly as you wanted. Please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. It's been a while since I dropped videos on this channel. I plan to, maybe pick up the pace a bit more, but I would try to keep up and try to drop something every now and then. But um, I hope this was helpful. Right now, please leave a like, leave a comment, share the video, and I'll see you again in the next one.